Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here with Brandon Townsley, who is the Vice President Sales and Trade Partnerships for Atlas Ocean Voyages. Now, if you haven't heard about Atlas Ocean Voyages, you haven't been reading Insider Travel Report because we've been doing a lot of reporting on them. They're the brand new luxe-expedition cruise line that's going to launch mid-year in 2021. So we're looking forward to that, and they are announcing things almost every week, and we do have a major announcement here that they're making, and we're going to talk to Brandon about that and a whole lot more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Brandon, first of all, how are you and where are you?
I'm great, James. Thanks for asking. I am in my office in downtown Fort Lauderdale. I'd like to say sunny downtown Fort Lauderdale, but it looks like we have a cloudy winter day of 73 degrees. But all things aside, it's enjoying the holiday season and doing well. Thank you.
Now, first of all, Brandon, can you tell us a little bit about Atlas Ocean Voyages and what it will offer, as well as when it will launch?
Sure. We are a new small ship luxe-expedition cruise brand. We launch next July. Our inaugural voyage is July 17th of 2021. And we've created this experience that we like to call Luxe Adventure. We took a good look at the luxury players out there, and we really saw an opportunity to carve out a little niche for ourselves, something new. We're able to offer this Luxe Adventure type of experience, which is taking in everything that luxury has to offer, but also matching it with some adventure and some more active activities and things to do on land. And we have an Atlas Ashore program that has all our shore excursions. We're going to offer everything from the traditional experiences, the nice culture experiences, city tours, visits to wineries, museums, all those types of things. But we're also going to offer some active types of activities as well, whitewater rafting, hot air ballooning, even maybe some hang gliding in places like Rio de Janeiro that really, get your heart rate up a little bit and are a little bit more active and a little bit different than a lot of the activities we typically talk about in cruise conversations. So we really think we found a niche for ourselves where we're going to scrape off a little bit of those customers that really do enjoy that luxury cruise experience, but maybe want a little bit more activity and adventure on land. And that's what Luxe Adventure is all about.
Well, you certainly have the niche that seems to be really hot right now, and I know eventually you'll get down to Antarctica and do all those kind of things, but you're doing a lot of other things too, which I think is very interesting. We're going to talk about that, as well as how all-inclusive you really are. But the big news right now is you've just launched your latest innovation, which is a new sea spa by L'Occitane, I think I pronounced that right, which is the famed French brand, which is going to be on board the new World Navigator, and you're calling this the first luxury L'Occitane spa at sea, even though I guess the concept was piloted by your sister company, Mystic Cruises, on World Explorer and World Voyager. Why is this spa so significant for your ship?
This is a great question. We partnered with L'Occitane to create a luxury product in their sea spa product that exists today on our parent company ships, World Explorer and World Voyager. So aboard World Navigator, we're sort of giving it a bit of an upgrade. We've moved this spa down to deck 4, and what we've really done is enlarged it. So in addition to the 2 treatment rooms and the reception area, we're also have created a Serenity Lounge, which is sort of my favorite place to hang out, or will be my favorite place to hang out, which is just an area where a relaxation room has been created. We have lounge chairs in there. We'll have a bit of personal service in there. All the relaxation items a luxury cruiser would be used to and expect. And also, we've added and enhanced our sauna on board. Mm-hmm. We have, instead of the traditional heat sauna or wet rock sauna, we are using infrared technology, which is really a proven method for true relaxation and muscle relaxation and sleep therapy as well. So we've enlarged the spa on board World Navigator and offered 2 unique additional locations, the Serenity Lounge and the infrared sauna, which will both have beautiful ocean views. So you can sit in the sauna or the Serenity Lounge and sit back, relax, and enjoy the ocean. Is there for you to enjoy as well.
No, that's great. And you don't have that many passengers or guests to begin with, right? You have what? How many guests can you?
We are 100. Our double occupancy passenger count or guest count is 196 when we're in warm waters, and in the polar regions, it's 186.
Yeah. So, and you have this beautiful spa. You talked about all those activities and things you could do, but now you can go back and relax in the spa, which is great.
Exactly. And great treatments. We'll have the hot rocks, which is one of my favorites. And then we're also going to be offering a new amenity on board. Treatment is called Sleep and Reset Massage, which is perfect for those who go out and may do a bit of adventure and really work up a sweat instead of doing a walking tour of a city. Maybe they're going to use some of our bicycles, our electric assisted bicycles, to take a tour around one of the ports or destinations we visit. So when they come back from working up a sweat and getting their heart rate up a bit, they're going to really enjoy the amenities our L'Occitane Sea Spa offers, as well as the Serenity Lounge to just sit back and relax and enjoy.
Now, how would you suggest that travel advisors sell this new amenity on board?
So we are a small ship. So in a small ship, sometimes the areas aren't, maybe the spas aren't as robust and as large, but we have really taken a luxury spa to the next step with our partnership with L'Occitane to create the Serenity Lounge and the infrared sauna, making them bigger and a larger place so you get the complete experience. You can enjoy a treatment in one of the 2 treatment rooms, and then you can retreat to either the Serenity Lounge and or the infrared sauna. So we've really taken it up a step. For a small ship to offer a spa this size is really unique. So it's something that travel advisors should really position with their clients. And again, if they book a spa treatment before their clients depart, we're happy to commission those treatments to the travel agents as well.
That's actually great. And that's not something you hear about very often, if at all, on any ship, as far as I know. So that's a great deal. And can I book my spa now for June, July? Can we book that?
Not yet. We're getting close to. We typically will open up the book 7 to 8 months out. But when we do, we'll certainly let everybody know.
Excellent. Now, I believe guests will have to pay for the spa services, obviously, because then travel advisors will get commission on that. But that might actually be literally the only other thing they have to pay for on World Navigator, as far as I know. Tell us a little about the other sort of unique inclusions you offer as part of your, I think your program is called AllInclusive All the Way program, right?
Yep. And we uniquely, we named that purposely because we really wanted a key phrase to really embody all the amenities and the inclusions that are included in the price that travel advisor's client pays for our cruises. So we really like to say we are all-inclusive all the way. And what that means is it includes everything that you would expect from a luxury product, but it also includes a bunch of things that a luxury client or a luxury guest wouldn't typically expect. So, of course, we include gratuities and standard Wi-Fi service, all the premium pours, all the premium beverages, alcoholic beverages, non-alcoholic beverages, entertainment, dining. All those things you come to expect are included in the cruise fare, of course, but the things you might not expect is we include round-trip airfare from 16 gateways throughout the United States and Canada. So your transportation to and from the ship is included. Additionally, we offer something very unique, and with the current and selling environment, which is really a key selling point that travel advisors should point out to their clients, is we offer medevac insurance. So that's an insurance that includes the transportation should an emergency happen, should a guest become ill or maybe get injured on shore. It includes the transportation from the ship or wherever they are to a medical facility, and then from the medical facility all the way home. So when travelers and our guests are buying their travel insurance, which certainly everybody should carry when they travel overseas and out of the country is they should obtain travel insurance. It'll keep that travel insurance cost lower because we will include that medevac insurance, which is typically an add-on and a pricey add-on. So that's going to be included in the cruise fare. So really, their time with us really gives them some peace of mind. So should something happen and they should have to depart the ship and travel home early for any reason, medical reason, that insurance is covered in their cruise fare.
No, that's great. And I know I've had some friends who've had to be evac'd, and they luckily had the evac, but that's something you usually have to buy. It's not part of the standard you buy from a cruise line. And then I believe you also include a private jet charter when you were down in Antarctica, right?
We do. So I mentioned we included airfare from 16 gateways throughout the United States and Canada, and that's on any destination or port of call or embarkation, debarkation port where one of our vessels either leaves from or you return to. But for Antarctica, we've done something really special. So what we've done is we've chartered a private airplane just for Atlas Ocean Voyages that will depart Orlando and fly nonstop all the way to Ushuaia. And so for those that aren't familiar with Antarctica or selling Antarctica, typically it can be a little arduous getting down there. There could be several connecting flights, not just one, but several, forced overnight. It's not a very convenient place to travel to. I mean, it's at the end of Argentina. It's a ways to go.
Bottom of the world, right?
Yeah. So typically, it's arduous for clients and the travel advisors' clients and our guests to get down to Argentina, and it's also challenging for travel advisors to make those arrangements for their clients. So we've taken the hard part out. So what we've done is we've chartered a wide body jet, an A330 from Orlando, Florida, that will fly nonstop all the way to Ushuaia, Argentina. Where
that's a bit of a haul. That's about 10 hours plus.
It's 11 hours flight, and it's overnight flight. So again, we offer complimentary airfare from 16 gateways throughout the United States and Canada. So we'll funnel everybody into Orlando and various flights from around the country and from Canada. Everybody will come into Orlando and then they'll board that flight. And that's really when their experience with Atlas will begin, is the moment they step on the plane. So the great thing about chartering this aircraft is not only can we fly all the way from Orlando to Ushuaia, but we can create a unique experience for the guests. So they'll board, there'll be some surprises, delights, there'll be Atlas brands everywhere, branded things everywhere. They'll have special, again, everything's included with Atlas Ocean Voyages. So once they step on the plane, everything's included. All your beverages included, meals will be included, and suite guests will receive business class air. So people traveling on World Navigator in a suite will receive business class air, and then our staterooms will be reserved for economy as well. And again, everything's included on that flight, so even the folks in economy won't be paying for beverages or food or snacks or anything like that. It's all included. So it'll be a nonstop flight, leaving around 4 or 5 late in the afternoon, arriving in Ushuaia around 8 in the morning. They'll be escorted through customs. We'll have a little champagne reception somewhere, and then they'll board the ship mid-afternoon. Coming back, guests will disembark the ship in the morning. We'll take them out to Patagonia region around Ushuaia, to a beautiful ranch. We'll have a nice relaxing lunch, and then they'll board the plane late afternoon, fly overnight back to Orlando, land in Orlando around 8 o'clock in the morning, which is the perfect time to connect to get all those connecting flights back home to wherever they may be throughout the U.S. and Canada. So we've taken that hardship out of traveling to Ushuaia, traveling to Antarctica, making travel arrangements to Antarctica. And again, because the flights are all included on our cruise fare, it's totally commissionable for travel advisors.
No, that's great. And it sounds like it's a very easy thing. And again, that everything is included. So I think that's amazing. And part of this, you've sort of promoted the fact that Atlas Ocean Voyages is really easy to do business with for travel advisors. And tell us a little bit about that, what you offer. I know you have no NCFs. Non-commissionable fares, that's a big thing, but I think there are several other things as well that makes it a lot easier as well as your commission program, for advisors to do business with you.
Yeah, so when we were putting our pricing out, it was very important. There's a lot of us here at Atlas Ocean Voyages who have tenured careers here in the cruise industry, and we know that there's some pain points that travel advisors have to deal with. And of course, the biggest one is those pesky non-commissionable fares. So we were very intent on launching a fare program that included fares that were 100% commissionable on a premium cruise fare. So what that means is there's no portion that's not commissionable. So whatever commission level they earn that on a 100% commissionable premium cruise fare. So that commission check is going to have some commas in it, which is really attractive. And of course, it won't have those NCFs, which we were very adamant about not having. Also, we include air. So booking with us is relatively seamless. So travel advisor doesn't have to go out, and if we have a voyage departing on one of our Holy Land cruises from Israel or from Athens, Greece, of course, we include the airfare. So there's no, the travel advisor doesn't have to go out and figure out how to get their clients from the United States and Canada all the way to where one of our ships departs from. And as we grow, we're going to be growing, and we'll have departures from around the world. So you could be departing from Israel, as I said, or maybe Norway or Antarctica, of course. And then we're going to go over into the South Pacific and Southeast Asia, and then in Northern Atlantic and South America. So as we grow and expand, there's going to be additional ports, which may not be the most convenient to get to, because we really want to offer that luxe adventure experience. We want to go to less traveled and remote destinations. So that's going to call for some times where we have to embark guests in some lesser known places and maybe not the most convenient to get to. So providing that airfare takes all that headache out of arranging for travel advisors to arrange transportation to get their clients to our vessels. So, it's really, we sort of carry the flag that we want to be easy to do business with. And that's just two examples of how we intend to do that.
Well, and also in this day and age of COVID and all this, I know you've had to look at your refund policies and also your rebooking policies. Yep. And obviously that's something in the past year that travel advisors have had to deal with all the time. And hopefully they won't have to with you, because by the time you get out, we'll all be cruising again.
We were lucky. We didn't have to deal with any of the refund issues. We picked a really, let's say, interesting time to start a new brand. But let's talk silver lining is we haven't had to deal with all the refund issues and cancellations and reschedulings. But also, since our ships are being built, we are very nimble, that we're able to keep an eye on technology and our ear to technology and see what is the latest and greatest technology that's coming out. So with the new protocols and everything that we follow on a daily basis, we match that to whatever the best technology is. So, you talk about air filters and filtration systems and these new technologies that are really cool about how you're able to, take a person's temperature in a room without having them to physically, put a thermometer in their mouth or have something put up to their head. So there's all these new technologies. So being nimble is when our ships are being built, and when World Navigator arrives in July, it will be the ship with the latest and the greatest technology when it comes to health and safety protocols, as well as one of the cleanest ships afloat. And so silver lining is we've been able to be nimble and make those adjustments as those new technologies come out. So when we launch in July, that will be one of the safest and cleanest ships in the ocean. So you mentioned some other things when it comes to doing business with us. Since the age of COVID, we've eliminated basically our non-refundable deposit, the portion of our deposits that are non-refundable. So a guest can get a full refund on their deposit up to 90 days prior to the voyage or any payments that they may make. Also, we've implemented a policy whereas if for whatever reason a guest cannot travel with us on a sailing, they can change their voyage up to 15 days prior and move to any of our published voyages. So that takes, it gives them some peace of mind should anything happen between now and 15 days prior, that they can move their voyage to a later date. And if there's not a voyage that they're able to commit to at that time, we'll happily issue a future cruise credit certificate that remains fully commissionable as well.
Yeah, no, it's amazing how future cruise credits have now become the norm in the industry. But hopefully you won't have to use them too much coming when you guys launch. Now, let's talk about some of your initial itineraries that you're going to begin with in July for World Navigator. and obviously this is coming out the first week of January. What cruises will the ship first offer, and when will you actually eventually get to Antarctica?
That's a great question. So initially, the World Navigator, when she comes out of the shipyard in June, early July, she'll spend the summer in the Mediterranean, and then she'll move over to do a transatlantic to the Caribbean. Then from the Caribbean, she'll work her way south along the east coast of South America, excuse me, and eventually ending up, and her first Antarctica voyage is November 19th.
Okay.
So she does a lot of itineraries and cool places before November 19th. She comes out of the shipyard. We have, I believe, 16 what we call warm water itineraries and 11 polar or Antarctica itineraries. So she comes out of the shipyard, which is in Viana, Portugal, just south of the Spanish border. And her first inaugural itinerary or voyage is July 17th of 2021, so just around the corner. With an 11-night voyage from Malta over to Athens, Greece, through the Ionian Sea, and some really great small Greek Isle ports that are on that voyage, including a transit of the Corinth Canal, which is really cool.
Oh yeah, I've done that. It's amazing.
Yeah, I have not done that, so that's on my bucket list. Definitely.
And I think you're doing one in the Black Sea, which I thought was pretty interesting too.
And then July 28th, we depart Athens, Greece, on a nine-night voyage up through the Bosphorus River into the Black Sea. Where through 2 itineraries, we'll do a circumnavigation. So we'll hit ports in, I've never thought I'd mention some of these places in a cruise conversation, but Romania and Bulgaria. We do an overnight in Odessa. And then we'll circumvent the rest of the Black Sea, calling on Novorossiysk, Russia. Harry, I think, our PR guy who's sitting with me, is impressed that I can pronounce that, because that's taken some time.
We all stumbled over L'Occitan, so
yeah. So, but
the Russian pronunciation, that's a bonus, right?
Yeah. So going to so many unique places around the world, I've had to brush up on languages of Russia, French, Italian.
I think as part of the Black Sea, you're actually going to have an excursion up to Chernobyl too, which is
so in Odessa. When we call on Odessa, we actually end and start about 2 voyages in Odessa, and we've created an overnight excursion up to Odessa. Up to Kiev, where we'll run an experience out to Chernobyl, where guests will actually be able to go to the inside the restricted zone and go to actually the reactor, and get to wear the radio the suits and get the barometers and everything, and actually do a guided tour of the nuclear reactor of Chernobyl. And they've really done a great job preserving the area, so people can go there and learn actually what happened there. And apparently everything is kept as it was. They'll get to go to the nearby town, which was completely abandoned and just left as is. So they've really done a great job creating a Chernobyl experience for guests to see. So we'll take guests up there for 2 nights before returning to the ship, so they'll get to see Chernobyl and Kiev, and continue on circumventing the Black Sea. And as I mentioned, in Novorossiysk, we'll offer an overnight trip up to Moscow.
Wow, okay.
To see the ballet and some interesting things in Moscow. Then they'll reboard the ship, because we'll do an overnight in Sochi, Russia, which is a great port city in Russia.
Former place of the Olympics, right?
That's right. And it's unique because they can get sand and sea and snow on the same day. So they'll get to see the port town of Sochi, which is a tourist area with like sun and sand, pretty beaches. But then they also have the opportunity to get up into the mountains to see where the Olympics actually took place. And continuing on, we'll call in Batumi in Georgia, which is another unique port I never thought I mentioned in a cruise conversation. Some interesting ports there on the north shore of Turkey on the Black Sea, before concluding with an overnight in Istanbul, which is always a wonderful city.
Great city.
And then we'll start our Holy Land itineraries and sail down the west coast of Turkey, do some overnights in Israel, so the guests can see everything there is to see in Israel, all the religious points of interest, be able to go to Jordan and the Temple of Petra, and then sail down through Israel. I got to get my country straight. So then we go to Egypt, which is very popular right now. Egypt is having a renaissance in tourism.
Right.
So we call on Port Said, which is the mouth of the Nile River, and guests will be able to see a bit of the Nile River and continue on to Cairo to see the Museum of the Antiquities and spend the night there. And then get back on the ship in Alexandria, which will offer all our guests the opportunity to go out to see the temples of Giza and the pyramids. And then we'll continue up through the Eastern Mediterranean, calling on Crete, and back to Athens. In Athens, we have a really great 12-night voyage, which is round trip. So guests can fly into Athens. We'll have a 12-night voyage to Egypt and Israel on the same itinerary I just mentioned. The opportunity to overnight in Israel for a few nights. So all the religious points of interest and everything to see in Israel, get up again to Jordan and the Temple of Petra, do everything in Egypt, then back up to Athens. Then we'll start heading west through the Mediterranean, ending up in Lisbon to do a transatlantic to the Caribbean, to Barbados, and that's when we head down the east coast of South America, calling on great places like Belém, which is in the mouth of the Amazon River. So a bit of the Amazon River. We'll do an overnight in Rio de Janeiro, which is a great way to see that part of the world. In that part of Brazil, use the ship as your hotel. Get to see all the great things there are to see in Rio. Continuing on down, we're going to call on a place that I am dying to go called Florianopolis, which is a resort area in Brazil. And I believe we're there for a while, or we have an extended stay. And then continuing on down to Montevideo. And then from Montevideo, we'll head down to Ushuaia, sailing through the Falkland Islands before eventually ending up in Argentina to start our Antarctica season on November 19th. And from there...
How long does that go, the Antarctica season?
So the Antarctica season goes from November to March.
Okay.
So we start with November 19th is our first voyage. We offer nine-night voyages, which is the traditional voyages down to the peninsula of Antarctica, where we'll spend 5 days in what we call a captain's call itinerary, because there's no ports of call in Antarctica like everybody's used to, where you're in Europe or the Caribbean and you dock and you get off and shopping. There's none of that in Antarctica. It's really the last...
Unless the penguins are selling something I'm not aware of now.
Exactly. So unless the penguins are selling Cuban cigars, there's not much to buy there. But I mean, that's the reason people go there, because it's the last frontier. It's nature at its best. So there's 3 seasons in Antarctica. The first season is between November and December, and late December, typically the penguins hatch between Christmas and New Year's, sometime in there. So before that, the penguins are sitting on their eggs. Everything's crystal, white and touched, because it's the austral spring. The continent's just waking up. The snow is fresh. Photographers love it because it's so beautiful. People like to see when the penguins actually hatch, to see those little chicks. And then the most popular time, high season in Antarctica, is January, February. This is when the penguins are most active. The chicks are running around. The whales are starting to arrive. The icebergs are beginning to recede a little bit, so they can be very shiny and glisten in the sun. And then there's the late season, and that's when the animals are most active. The krill, the water's a little warmer, so the krill's abundant. That brings the humpback whales in to feed. The seals are very active. Nature of the circle of life begins. Sure. The orca are there. The seals are active. The penguins start to go back to the water. So it's very active. So there's 3 distinct seasons in Antarctica. There's this November, December, January, February, and then late season in March. And then after March, the World Navigator will begin to make her way back north. And we plan to announce those new itineraries very soon after the new year. So please keep your eye open. World Navigator will probably leave, head up back over to Europe, probably Northern Europe for a bit, before heading, back down to Antarctica for the 2022-2023 season.
No, that's great. Well, can I reserve a cabin from like July to March? Because all the things you just mentioned sound amazing, and you have a really unique take on even sort of more familiar destinations, in addition, obviously, to Antarctica, which everyone really wants to go to. Yeah. But it sounds like you've organized some really special itineraries. And the fact is that the World Navigator is really only the first of your ships. You got, I think, 4 more coming out, and it's all going to be coming out pretty soon, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
So by 2023, we will have 5 ships in the water. So we have 1 being delivered next year, then 2 in 2022 and 2 in 2023. So by 2024, we'll have, did I say that right? 2024, we'll have five ships in the water, which is really exciting. So, as I said in the beginning of our talk is, we plan to go to all 4 corners of the earth and take guests to, the most remote destinations possible. So we really think coming out of this post-COVID area, we are in a prime position with a small ship that's taking guests to some of the most remote destinations in the world, beginning in the Mediterranean. I think after the first of the year, there's going to be a heightened interest in traveling again. And really, as you said in your article on Insider Travel Report this morning, your the number one travel trend that you identified was go big or go home. And we really think that's our mantra, because we offer a small ship, but we offer big experiences on big bucket list itineraries. So I think, we're right there to be perfectly positioned to capitalize on that, on the number one travel trend that you identified in your article today.
Yeah,
so.
no, that was a good one by our friends at Amadeus that identified that, and it was one of the reasons we published it. Now, a lot of travel advisors may not know, but they don't know who is backing your new line. Tell us a little bit about your owners and why they are making such a major investment in this.
Sure. We are a new brand, but we have quite a pedigree. Our owner is Mystic Cruises, which is a subsidiary of Mystic Invest, which is a Portuguese holding company that has actually several brands, all hospitality brands that they operate. Actually, Mystic Cruises is a little known fact that Mystic Cruises is the 3rd largest river cruise operator in the world. But they have a unique model. They are a shipbuilder and they are an operator. So they build these river ships in Portugal, and then they white label charter them to some very renowned and popular companies like AMA Waterways, Uniworld, I think Viking Cruises on the Douro River. So they've been around a while and operating on the rivers. So then the company wanted to get into the ocean cruising business. They had to raise some capital. So they partnered with a large private equity firm in New York called Citaris, which is also operates and is invested in a large portfolio of travel and hospitality brands. So with these 2 companies, we have a very rich pedigree and are very experienced. So we're certainly drawing on those resources as we launch this new brand in North America.
No,
so
certainly. You are a new brand, but you, as you said, have a rich pedigree, and I believe the owner I'm familiar with, Mario Ferrara, I believe, yes, who's from Portugal, and some travel advisors may have encountered him, obviously, on the Douro. Yes. And he is, as you said, responsible for many of the right. vessels cruising the Douro. But I didn't realize he also is responsible for another river cruise line in Europe, and now he's venturing into the oceans with this.
Correct. Yeah. So Mario Ferrara was sort of our visionary, and he started this company many years ago with just 1 tour boat on the Douro, and he built that into a very popular brand called Douro Azul, which does nothing but river cruises on the Douro, and that expanded into Mystic Cruises and a variety of hospitality brands. So again, we are a new brand, but we really are fortunate to have an owner and a visionary like Mario Ferrara that has helped us carve our way in building this brand and bringing it to North America.
That's great. Well, we're looking forward to it. Now, is there anything else you want to tell travel advisors about Atlas Ocean Voyages? Obviously, the big news today is the new spa, but you did a great job of going through all the itineraries, which, boy, if you can't sell one of those, maybe you should be selling expedition cruises, because it is an amazing lineup of what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to reiterate that we are all-inclusive all the way. So everything's included. We are very easy to do business with. We try to make as many inclusions as possible, so travel advisors don't have to put all these pieces together with different commission rates and so on and so forth. So, our mantra is all-inclusive all the way. And of course, we all are familiar what that means for a guest, but even for travel advisors, it just makes doing business with us that much easier. and that much more profitable because they get their full commission for every component that's included and that they sell. And again, given our price point, we're up in the $850, $900 per person per day in the warm waters, even higher for Antarctica, which offers a really unique selling proposition with our chartered air service. Makes getting to and from and making arrangements to and from Antarctica that much easier, that much more convenient for the guests, and that much more profitable for our travel advisors. So we're always looking at all-inclusive all the way and how we can bolster that. We recently had a promotion where we include free land experiences, a selection of free land experiences in our ports worldwide. All destinations, all ports had a menu of free land experiences to choose from. So we're always looking for ways to bolster our all-inclusive, all-the-way offerings, and we'll continue to do that. So we have not only an exciting announcement today with the L'Occitan announcement, but we're also going to be making some very exciting announcements about our all-inclusive, all-the-way proposition in the next couple of weeks as well. So please keep your eyes open. More announcements to come. It's very exciting creating a brand and launching a new product. So we have the opportunity to continually improve and make things better, more exciting for our guests to experience, and certainly more exciting and profitable for our travel advisor partners to sell. So please keep your eyes and ears open. Lots of exciting announcements to come in the next few weeks.
Now, who should travel advisors contact to find out more about your programs, and also where can they go to find more about Atlas Ocean Voyages?
Sure. We have our general website is atlasoceanvoyages.com, and we've also created a special site just for travel advisors. It's called Atlas Advisor Central. So if you go to our main website, up in the top right-hand corner, you'll see a link for travel advisors. Follow that link, get registered with us, get signed up for Atlas Advisor Central. On that site is everything you need to know about Atlas Ocean Voyages, everything you need to know to sell, everything about our brand, the onboard experiences, the destinations we sail, terms and conditions, how to do business with us, including how to contact your regional sales director. We have two very experienced and very popular regional sales directors. We have Kathy Kasuma in the East Coast. She handles basically everything east of the Mississippi River. Then we have Anthony Cooper out there in California. He handles everything west of the Mississippi, more or less. So they are anxious to speak with everyone, put a business plan together, do some training for the agencies, tell you everything you know about Atlas Ocean Voyages. And also, social media-wise, please make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And even on Facebook, we have a special group that we have a lot of fun with called Atlas Advisor Central. It's a group on Facebook. So please find us there. I'm always posting. I always post your articles there, James. I always love posting your articles. I love sharing information on there. It's the easiest way to interact with us. So please find us on Facebook. It's Atlas Ocean Voyages, and Atlas Advisor Central is our Facebook name. So lots of ways to interact with us, lots of ways to communicate. We're happy to be in touch because we would love to do business together in 2021.
Well, Brandon, I want to thank you for taking the time to tell us all about Atlas Voyages. Congratulations on this new L'Occitan spa at sea. Although you got so much going on, I don't know when I'm going to have time for the spa. But,
we'll have you on board. Trust me.
We'll book that early. But some of these itineraries all these itineraries sound amazing. And good luck. We'll be following you closely, and we'll be looking for. I know they'll be able to read all your news right here on Insider Travel Report as you emerge, as we all emerge from this crisis, and we hopefully get cruising in July. So again, thanks so much.
Great. Thank you, James.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.